Isn't it? Good. Done well. Good, I must say. It's very good. Thank you. Nice man. Listen, think, come. Ah. That's so sweet of him. Breathe in. Breathe. Breathe out. Now breathe in. Breathe in. What happened to him, you said?
He's an alcoholic and takes drugs.
Ooh.
He's 30 now, that's when he was little. I didn't have photos.
What's his name?
Arthur. I've written it on the back. Arthur.
No, what's his name?
He's 30 now.
13.
30.
I'll keep the food.
Thank you. Yes.
Rita. Become a poet.
Thanks very much for coming to Perth.
So, That's it from your center heart. Now, you also sit like him, right here. All the children should sit on the ground, their hands like this. Or like this, hands towards me. All right. Now, so So for all the Sahaja Yogis from Perth, I must say all the Indian Sahaja Yogis have sent you a lot of love and are sorry that they could not come here. So the musicians will be coming to the other side of Australia. But in any case, I'll give them the good news that you already have become musicians. Now coming back to the basics in Sahaja Yoga, we have to know that in Sahaja Yoga we have no hard and fast rules for it. Because you are awakened people, you are saints and you know what is good for you. But you must keep that quality of saintliness with you. And certain things you should avoid yourself if possible. And if not, then see that what's wrong with your centers. If something wrong with your centers, you start getting into problems, getting into ideas, something which are destructive. So it's best is to judge yourself first of all, how are your vibrations. Now the best part that has happened so far, I think, in Perth, which I was happy, that they have assured me that they will try to get a big ashram. Because yesterday you saw how many people there were. Day before you saw how many people. Now if you have to help somebody in such a big way, then we have to have a big ashram, a big place where people can come. I found out a suggestion, another one, if you can accept it, that first of all, you can have a big ashram somewhere, which is to be renovated. And all of you try to renovate it. It's not difficult. As he said that you can purchase some dilapidated things as we have in Sahaja Yoga. Mostly people come dilapidated, isn't it? And we put them right. In the same way, we have to rebuild the whole thing, renovate the whole thing, a big thing. And he says that he can get a loan for that, for renovation, which you can pay as a rent and can be looked after. And also the people who are coming from outside, you can tell them that it's not for Sahaja Yoga, but for this hall that we have here, a bigger place, that little bit money could be paid and they wouldn't mind paying you some money. But not for Sahaja Yoga, it's just for that. Gradually you should introduce this idea to them, will be a very good thing. Now collectivity should grow, and collectivity grows with certain other subtler ideas that we should have about collectivity. First of all, we are all saints, aren't we? So now we cannot talk ill of each other at all. We cannot. If we are thinking ill of somebody or criticizing somebody, then we must know there's something wrong with us. In Sahaja Yoga, we should not criticize it. We should see the beauty, the glory of another person, and praise the joy that you have, the happiness that you have. Because if you want to gather the thorns, you'll get thorns. You can't get flowers. But if you want to gather flowers, you get flowers. So nobody should talk ill of any other saint. Because that is one thing creates a big problem in Sahaja. Then secondly, there is a leader. Now there is a leader, if you find something wrong with him, then you directly tell me, don't discuss among yourselves and create a group against him or her. Because through him only or her I can talk to you or come to you. Now supposing there is something wrong, you can telephone to me, you can call to me. If you think something dangerous, something it's alright, doesn't matter. I can talk to that person, I will ask the whole thing and we can manage. There's nothing wrong in it. I mean, after all, you are a part and parcel of the whole. But every moment if you go on standing fighting with a person or trying to find something wrong with a person or trying to do something that will harm the basic unity, then it's very wrong. And that is one of the responsibilities you have, that whatever you think is something to be done, your suggestions, you can give it to the leader. And if you think there's something very wrong in the leadership or in certain decisions he has taken or she has taken, then you are open to write to me, absolutely. You can telephone to me. All these letters pass through proper ways, and every letter is sort of found out to be whatever is needed to be given to be given. Otherwise also they mark it that mother, this is the point that letter has. And the letters which do not require any sort of answering, we don't answer, but the answer comes somehow. So supposing you have a problem, the problem can be solved and all that. So there is no need to write various things, like sometimes from Australia a letter comes, it could be from 10 to 20 pages. First of all, it costs so much money to you. Secondly, the people in England become suspicious, not the Sahaja Yogis, but the post people. They think what's coming here, some sort of politics or what. So there's no need to write very long letters, just a few things of how you are, how you are enjoying Sahaja Yoga, and sometimes this from America on the Thanksgiving Day, they wrote such sweet, sweet things, only one sentence, but such beautiful things that really I couldn't get over for 8 days. I said, oh God, I haven't done so much as the way they have described. Very deep and subtle things. So the subtler you become, the less you talk, the less you tell things, the less you write. As you know that in Zen system, they write very small sentences, very, very small sentences. And in that small sentence they say such deep and subtle. So there is a record on a subtler level, not on a superficial level. Thirdly, I would say there's also a tendency among so many people, like Harsh was with me or somebody is with me closer, but he's not the leader. So they tell him, Harsh, go and tell mother like this. Please tell mother. And he got fed up. He said, I am not the channel. Leader is the channel. Why don't you tell the leader? Whatever you want, you tell the leader and leader can tell mother, not me, nothing to do. Then he got really mad because everybody started telling him, tell this to mother, tell this to me. He would not tell me anything. He said, I'm not telling her anything, what's this of telling? So you should not find out any other channel. Your leader is there and we can listen. Now the point they have brought out now that about marriages, normally, and it's so hard and fast rule as I said, that it's better to marry a person not from the same place or not from the same collectivity. Now the reason why, in India supposing now it is a village, from a village they don't marry in the same village. Or from long time back it was not in the same university, they would not marry. Even today, the one who belongs to a particular university is called as a Gotra. Say my Gotra is Shandilia, so I cannot marry in the Shandilia. I can marry, this was thousands of years back. See, our forefathers must have studied in that particular university, the Shandilia University. But even till today, I cannot marry somebody belonging to the same Shandilia University. I mean, it's so far-fetched. But the reason was that in the colleges or university, a relationship should be there of complete celibacy and purity. That purity gets spoiled. Supposing you want to marry somebody in the same area, it's all right, you can marry. But it should not be a common rule, because then the purity cannot be maintained. You will be looking out for a girl in the same area where you belong. And then what happens, some eyes will lose their innocence. So it should be that you should marry outside. So at least the purity of this place is kept. You are all brothers and sisters. But if there's somebody who really thinks that it's important to marry and they want to marry, so there's no hard and fast rule, so it's all right. But normally it should not be. It should not be a normal thing, because then you start seeking out girls and all the time looking at girls with this idea, whom should I marry, whom should I choose. In the beginning we had these things, a lot of these things in India, this problem, and it was such a problem, and mostly such marriages have turned out to be very funny to us, very, very funny. She had a very big mishap in Austria. There was a girl who wanted to marry someone. I said, all right, it's this, I cannot force anything like that. Why? Since we both are Sahaja Yogis, And then that girl fell in love with another surgeon and with another. And she became pregnant with another man when this surgery had gone out. But it's such a problem, I didn't know what to do with it. I just don't know. But then this surgery, the first one, her husband refused to have her. The another surgery would not say that that is his child. And a big problem came through because this girl lost her sense. You see, she went from one boy to another. Because if you go on like that, there's no end. And it was a big problem. Still it exists there. But now she's left high and dry. I would say there's no one who's with her. So, first of all, we should not pay so much attention. It's not important in Sahaja Yoga. The most important thing is you try to keep yourself pure, your vibrations all right, no problems. And also, if any Sahaja Yogi wants to have a relationship outside Sahaja Yoga, one has to be very careful. Because we don't know what sort of Gunagadha they have, what kind of problems they have. You might jump into something very serious. And then you come back with a very serious problem telling me whether we had such problems, as he knows very well even in Australia, that somebody went with somebody else and she developed herpes and now it's difficult to marry her. So you see, in Sahaja Yoga we have to understand that marriage is all respected, it has to be, but it has to be monogamous. You cannot have monoandrous and monogamous. We don't believe in marrying one man, living with another man, running after third man. Because you see, what I have been saying is coming true now. People have AIDS, people have all kinds of diseases. Now in America also they think that monogamy is the best. And after all, it is not natural. Because supposing a man is married to a lady, then the lady wants that the man should be, in her privacy, should be hers. And also the man wants the same. If it is not so, they feel jealous. They are not even happy. That's one of the symptoms, that if a person is not happy with this kind of a thing, then what's the use of doing such a thing? Marriage must make everyone happy. That's the first sign. If a marriage doesn't make everyone happy, such a marriage is a curse on society. And these marriages don't stick also, because you must have the support of the collective. You have the support of the collective, and if it generates joy and happiness, children are better, society is better, and the whole situation is so good. You enjoy, such marriages. But when you find something goes wrong, you all become very serious, you don't like it. As in now you know in England we have problems with the royal family, and the rumor that this Princess Diana is going to divorce, and everybody was so unhappy about it. So they used to think such as if they were Romeo and Juliet and all these ideas were in their heads, and suddenly you hear of such ugly stuff. And people were very nervous, see, and they became very unhappy about it. So the marriage is the best way to give happiness to us, by having sweet children, having a good family, having a sensible life, gives such a joy to all the collective. So that's why it is important in Sahaja Yoga that we should have marriages which will be successful, which will be sensible, which will be balanced, and which will create beautiful children. Because I told you, so many children are anxious to get born to Sahaja Yogis, because they are great souls and they want to be sensible. So we must understand the essence of it. Why in Sahaja Yoga we prefer this. But of course there's no hard and fast rule. If you want to experiment with something, you can experiment. But when you suffer, Sahaja Yoga can't help. So whatever is needed, whatever is good has to be told and guided, and we should live with that idea. Now another thing that affects collectivity, I think, an idea of having a separate house. It's very common with Indians, so beware of that. Indians will find out 10 excuses to have a house of their own. This is the worst part of Indians. You see, they cannot have a collective life. Now, we built a nice ashram for them in Delhi, spending so much money. I tell you, I also gave a lot of money. And there's not even a rat living there. I said, what is this? nobody lives there. He said, Mother, you can live. I said, I'm the only one who has to live in so many ashrams. What's this of wasting money on ashrams then? What is this? There's no need to build any ashrams if you are not going to live together. If few people cannot live together, how can this world going to live? And only when you are all of you together, my attention is there. Now we have some very good ashrams, and they have done wonders, where the leader is kind, compassionate, loving, and also correct. If you love somebody, the person doesn't mind being correct, doesn't mind. Now, I also tell you many things, you don't mind, because you know I love you very much. And this love is the thing that really is the correcting point. So if the leader is loving, affectionate, compassionate, and if he tells that this is not good for you, this is not for your benevolence, nobody minds it, because it's good for you. It's just for something that will be good for you, good for your society, good for the country, for the whole world. And so we have to realize that we are here for a tremendous task. Such a work nobody has done so far. No saints have done this. Poor things, they were born one here and one there and one there. Either they were killed, given poisons, were thrown away or tortured so far. But you are not one. There are so many all over the world. You have friends everywhere, and you have so many relations everywhere, such sweet things. The another thing is people come to Ganpati Pure, many of you. Then you should not form an Australian group. This was once we discovered that Australia is great, Australia is this thing, and it fell down. God created one world, really. But then human beings call them Australia, India, England, like that. That's their own being. See, it's all their heading, not ours. We are all one. So when they come to Ganpati Pure, you must know that you should get mingled with other people, you should know them, you should write to them, and you should have a lot of fun and make fun of yourself and fun of them. It's very enjoyable. Because after Sahaja Yoga, you start seeing what's wrong with Australia, say what's wrong with India, what's wrong with England. Because you're so detached, you start seeing that this was the mistake, and you really enjoy it. And I enjoy when they really pull each other's legs nicely and enjoy each other's company and are so sporty and so sweetly enjoying each other's company. That's the greatest enjoyment for me. And when I see people are in a very jovial mood, in a very understanding mood, they are together of all the nations. Now we are in 40 nations, can you believe it? And if we can just forget that we belong to any particular country, we belong to the country of God's kingdom. Everything works out all right. And we have to be beautiful people. Otherwise the others see and say, oh, that such a man was there, such a person was there, and he did that. And we have no business, no need to be arrogant at all with anyone. There's no need. We have to be extremely loving. Because love, some people think, is a weakness. It's not. It's not. It's the strongest thing. Now you can see from me, in a way I am a foreigner in your country, I came to you and all that, and the love has worked. So love is the strongest thing, and we have never used the power of love, which of course you know how to give bandhans and things and to work it out, your love. So have faith in yourself that you are loving, you are compassionate, that's why you are dynamic, because love is dynamic. And all these things will help you. Now, living together, you can do something collectively also. I've been giving some ideas that you can work out this way, that way. So many things can be done. And we can really establish a kind of a proper society of such. As you know that Vishwa Nirmal Dharma has been accepted as a federal religion in America, as a federal religion in America. So we have to establish here also. Now when you have entered into that, then all these conditionings and all this ego and all this just drops out. And you become pure, beautiful. Which you can. I mean, it's your own property, it's within you. So why not get to it? Why to ruin yourself for anything else but to ascend? And in ascending, you never can be in trouble. Never can be. Now we have to help so many people. There are people suffering from alcoholism, suffering from drugs, suffering from other things, mental problems, physical problems, all kinds of things you can do a lot. One person can save so many people. So now all of you should decide also how many people you are going to meet and how many people you are going to give realization to and how many people you are going to attend to. Now when these new people come in, then also one has to be careful. Not to immediately say you are a bhoot, you are this, you are that. They don't understand your language. See, you must know your language is different of chakras. So the best thing is to talk to them softly, gradually tell them what is Sahaja. Because it's an absolutely new science. They think it's a new philosophy. It's not new, it's an ancient one. But they think like that, so best thing is to take everything in such a manner that the other person understands that you are dealing with that person in a very subtle and beautiful. You don't just try to be aggressive. Aggressiveness is not the sign of a saint. You have to be very kind, you have to be very gentle, you have to be very sweet and understanding, and that they are not yet realized souls. They have just now come to Sahaja Yoga, they are not yet established as Sahaja Yoga. That's the sign of a good saint. Anything else you want to ask me, you tell me, and I will definitely try to see to it that it works out. This one thing I've seen, how much depth we have, that works out. This. Sometimes it is so remarkable. There was one fellow called Alu who came to me in Madras about 1.5 years only, just one, and he just jumped into the ocean. He's such a great surgeon. And then he went down to he was in Bombay, he was in Bombay, where he received the news from his mother that she was very serious there. So he went down to Rohtak from Bombay, and when he was in Rohtak, he found out that his mother was just about to die. The doctor said within 3 days she was going to die. So he just put my photograph, and he told my photograph, "Mother, please cure my mother." That's all. And can you imagine, in 3 days she grew so much that he brought her all the way to Bombay. Then he took her, they said it's a serious type of cancer, and they took her to the very famous hospital in Bombay, Tata Hospital for this cancer. And you'll be amazed that they said it's all negative, there's no cancer at all. So it's the depth, it's not the blind faith, but the depth. Deeply how much you are in Sahaja. And he's been there only 1.5. And then he said, I want to give up my job. Now what's the use of doing jobs? He said, I better do Sahaja Yoga job. I said, you are doing Sahaja Yoga job, all right? Don't give up this job. There's no need to give up it. So you grow like the tree is settled in the same place, but grows in the same way you have to. And it works out very well. I hope how to express their love. Nothing like children in this world, I think. Now another thing was you asked me about a school to be started here. It's a good idea. Start a school. That will be good for little children. And then when they grow up, we'll see this is very good. And in a place like that, you can have a school. If you have a big basement, you can have a school, you can have a meditation center there. Meditation room should be separate. Everybody should not be brought to a photograph which has got the ground and all that in the shop. So just have ordinary photographs like this for a meditation room. But for a meditation room you can have it. But for a general center you need not have all these things because they don't like it to be. And then for the children also you can have that. You can also make it an exhibition room or something like that. And another thing I find that Australia is a very expensive place. Very, very expensive. So I think when you all come to India, you should get the list of things that you want to buy and buy them. I mean, terribly, I mean, you just can't imagine how expensive. So all those who are here also you can buy things for them and bring them. Because I think this is one of the most expensive places. I don't know about Helsinki is another one, but in some things this is a very expensive place, except for food. Food is all right. The rest of it is very expensive. So when you come to India, remember that you go out shopping nicely and get things for others, so you can also you are left behind. So next time I hope to see you all in Ganpatipura. I know that Ganpatipura is rather expensive, but we try to put it down a little bit. But as the time is passing, you see, every inflation going up and even the food getting going up, I don't know how to bring it down. But we have kept to the same amount for the last 3 years, and this year maybe we might bring it down a little bit more, some sort of way. Compromise things. But for 1 month in Australia it will be much more than in India, I get it. Only your traveling is a problem which you should little bit sort out. But the more the merrier, as they say, you come along. But I would say still Australia shouldn't stay together. You should mix with other people, make friendship, you should be able to write letters. Because I'm talking here about the collectivity of the whole world. And that's what you belong to. Anywhere you go, in any place, it's so surprising sometimes how you meet a surgeon. Like we had one girl, she went down to Sicily, and another one went from, I think, Austria. And both were sitting in one restaurant. This one was sitting here, the other one. And suddenly, because of vibrations, they were attracted to each other. They didn't know why they were attracted. So one went and talked to the other, I said, from where? She said, that I'm from Austria. Then she just put her hand under the table. She said, are you a surgeon? Yes, yes. How do you know? Are you a surgeon? Yes, I am. And the amount of love they felt between themselves. And they describe it so beautifully, like a poetry, whole thing. And I was so happy that in a far-fetched place like Sicily, 2 girls from 2 countries being there, they're so very happy, just with vibrations. Same with the people when they come, see sometimes they're not wearing badges or anything. Just with vibrations they know that this is surgery. All over the world you have brothers and sisters. You can never get lost, even if you want to. So that's how it is. You have anything, any problem? You tell me. Now about this one marriage you have said, I have no objection to it. But responsibility is more there. That's not mine so much.
Thank you.
And the second one is the problem of this lady having 2 children. She's a surgeon, and you don't like people staying with somebody like that. We must have our self-respect. Unless and until you are married with someone, if you stay with someone, it's a stigma for you as well as for the children. So I don't agree there that you stay with someone without marriage. See, you don't know how he will treat you, how he will work out. And they have to be surgeons. Because then we can see that they don't misbehave. Of course, I wouldn't say that 100% we are successful, but at least 99% we are successful in our attempt to get very happy, prosperous, beautiful married lives. And without that, what's the use all the time, you see, the struggle, fighting, what's the use? So that would be a better idea, is to have a same thing which is marriage, and which is a very sensitive thing, and which will definitely help you all very much. You settle down. Otherwise you'll be all the time unhappy, insecure. Now those who cannot get married, say, who cannot come to Ganpati Pune can send their photographs and all those things. We decide there. I mean, they can get engaged, they can get married, not such a problem. They can get married here also, but they should send the photographs properly and also send them, just like in India. And supposing we find somebody for you there, good. Then we'll send you a message and the collectivity can pay for you to come. And you can stay with that person for a month, go around, see, and if you like it, you can marry. So there's no compulsion for you to marry somebody, I tell you. Or there's no compulsion about that you have to get into that marriage case. Not at all. If you want to get married, you get into that case, then you send it over. Then I sort it out more on vibrations, and it works. More on vibration. Somebody could be this way or somebody could be that way. Like very remarkable thing happened this time, that we have a very, very good Sahaja Yogi called as Rishmarno in London. Very good Sahaja. And he told me that he wants to marry an Indian girl, but she should be very good in vibration. I said any color, any shape, anything, yes. As long as she's a bundle of vibrations, mother, I don't want anything else. I didn't understand what he was saying. But for his age, there was only one girl available, and she was from South, very down. So I would say she was quite good looking, in the sense that, to me, with her norms of very down, and little on the plump side. He wanted a plump wife also, that was not. He said, I don't want to have bones around my head. That was all right. But still, I would not call her anything beautiful or thing for a Western mind, or would be ugly. And I told him all this. And see, this is the photograph of this girl, and this is this. If you like her, really want to marry her, really want to marry her, so when he saw her, he just jumped. He said, that's the one, mother. I was so surprised. I said, why? He said, stupid, the vibrations from her eyes also. There are vibrations from such innocent eyes. He just fell for her. And he's so happy with her. While you will find somebody, because somebody is, I don't know why, somebody just saying, I know for some. Because they have black hair, so they have grey hair, and I don't like a blonde, and I don't like a black haired person. All this nonsensical ideas start. It's so superficial. Here you can always color it. Except for, and some people will say the nose is long, some people will say, after all, God has made everybody differently. They cannot be one, like they are not plastic things. So they have to be different. And the faces have to be different. But in Sahaja Yoga, they have that inner beauty shining in the faces. And that you can see. If you understand this point, then you won't say no because this is. But of course, if there's any reasons for saying no, I will say, all right, never marry. But even after marriage, I've seen people become so crazy and mad. I can't understand what happens. Like we had one marriage to a boy who was very good surgeon in India, but to a very good looking girl, very, very good looking, and a good surgeon. And then she went mad, actually she went amok. She took that boy to Kashmir for a honeymoon. We don't have honeymoon because we have honeymoon, everything in surgery. So we used to go for honeymoon. But she went for a honeymoon and spent 2 lakhs of rupees of that boy. And then she started asking me for this and that, and she started giving all kinds of troubles to the mother-in-law and father-in-law, staying in their house. We must take another house, we must get out of it. Within 1 month's time, everybody went crazy. And she went into Pune street to kissing him, hugging him, oh God, and so embarrassing for others. So they came, but what is this girl? And the boy also got frightened. He said, "Mother, please send it. I just can't bear this." Now she's gone. Now she said, I was possessed, it was a book. Why you blame a book? You are a Sahaja Yogi. How did you get into this kind of a madness? That because he was a rich boy, all right. So you shouldn't get into such a mad idea. You should understand that he's a Sahaja Yogi and you are a Sahaja Yogini. And the whole thing is so absurd now that this boy says, no mother, not me, not with her. He spoke so frightened. So she says, now I'm right, the Bhuta has gone. I didn't marry her actually, that's one of the points I must tell you. Because there was some sort of a remark about her from the video. So I just had kept that waiting. I said, let's see next year, let's see about her. But she stayed back because she was anxious to get married. And they stayed in the same house where these people were living. And she managed him, I think. And then all these things happened. And such a problem, that boy is completely shattered. Such a nice shattered. So you also have things like that sometimes. Without my knowledge, things have happened. But you have to know that whatever you have to think, whatever you have to analyze, whatever you have to decide should be done before marriage, not after marriage. But before marriage, I never think. Mother has said is all right. We like after marriage, oh, this is so, this is so. It's a funny thing. Once you have to pay, it's not a joke, it's not a show, it's not something so cheap as that. You're married somebody, you have no business to build somebody's life like that. They start thinking after marriage is a normal. Before marriage, you should decide. That is one of the curses of the Western society. We should not be brought to such. We have no right to hurt anyone. No. Decide yourself beforehand. You tell me last minute if you tell me I don't want to marry. It's perfectly all right. But after that, when you are married somebody, you have no business to hurt somebody. It's sort of a very sinister thing it might be. That you are trying to hurt someone. That's not good. So before marriage you should decide. And after marriage you should accept it and make it a beautiful marriage. You can show to people, there are people who we can say have been very, very happily married. And also a situation of the husband is dominating or a wife is dominating, and that should not be such. As I have told that you are two wheels of one chariot, but the left is on the left and right is on the right. If you try to fix the left on the right, it will be a mess, or any one of the wheels is smaller than the other. They are equal but not similar. Then the chariot will be going round and round. So it is that you have to respect the equality of Sahaja and Sahaja Yogini and Sahaja Yogi. But also you must know that you are not similar. Woman is a woman and a man is a man. And I naturally woman I sometimes think, because poor men have to please so many people in this world. And a woman has to just please the husband, finished. It's a simpler job. But in any case, you should be proud of being a woman or a man. And this fighting with men for what? Fighting with men for jobs. It's not necessary. What is there to fight with men for jobs? And for getting this thing better, that thing better. After all, it's so materialistic. We should really understand that we are the source of power. We are like this Mother Earth, which gives everything, and she is so. That's how we should have that idea that